All right, welcome back to the desk, everyone. Uh, welcome back to day 5 of SMLCS. It's a Friday. That's pretty awesome. So, oh wait, oh that is pretty scuffed. Thank you, production. But anyway, on to the actual main topic. Today we have Meet the Coomers versus Win Diesel, with Meet the Coomers starting on the blue side. All right, let's hop into the discussion. Actually, interestingly enough, Snowmobiling Steel found some pretty interesting stats regarding the sides and the wins. So, wanna talk about that first, actually, because you know,
Yeah, so I did some digging yesterday, and it turns out that in our league right now, I think Red Side actually only has one win, I believe. Red Side has one win, and Blue Side has won pretty much every other game. Um, so I guess our league is just super powerful with first picks. I think first picks are seemingly even more powerful than counter picks in our league. So I mean, we'll see if today's game matches the trend.
right, of course. Also, it is important to note, though, that other professional leagues across all regions have enabled Viego and Gwen. So currently, there's a player poll going on right now to see if we will enable them for next week or in the future. But for this current game, the last one of the week, it will be disabled. So, let's move on to I guess discussion about draft. Well, of course, Vin Diesel wants to go with the full melee comp again. So to kick that off, of course, Big Boss on the Samira on the opposing team will potentially run into some trouble there, as Samira is one of the only few AD carries that do need to go in to melee range to, of course, get maximum damage. So we'll see how that plays out, and if they decide to stick with the very powerful Samira pick, that's very practiced. What are your thoughts on it, some of you?
Well, I'm actually kind of interested to see if Vin Diesel keeps drafting these full melee comps. I mean, they've done it pretty often so far, but it's kind of revealing a bit of a weakness in their playstyle, and we saw that like pretty early on, right? Like if they just get if the other team just drafts like range and the ability to zone control, then it doesn't matter how amazing your wombo combos look. Um, like you're just gonna get demolished, and we know that a very practiced pick for the Coomers is actually Johnson V2 on the Vladimir. And I mean, you want nothing worse of Vladimir to have the enemy team all nice and clumped up so that you can land all of your damage at once. So I think if Wind Diesel wants this uh, melee style to be what they play and focus on from now on, they're gonna need to be cognizant of potential champions that counter their playstyle, such as the Vladimir.
Right. Of course. All right. I think that will be some good talk, and that should be enough. Let's move on to the draft phase. Let's send it to a break for now. All right. Looks like we're going straight to draft then, I guess. Thanks, production. Right, and we will wait now for both teams to show up so the draft can start.
I'm expecting Wind Diesel to try and pinch jungle picks early on. Um, like I said, I do also expect the Vladimir to get banned out as well. Um, I mean, that's what I would hope to see if Wind Diesel wants to continue their full melee style.
Right, of course. It'd be interesting to see if Meet the Coomers throw a curveball and actually ban out at the Yasuo for Musi in the bot lane here and force him onto a ranged pick like Tristana. It could disrupt their game plan and what they have practiced thus far. So we'll see if that actually happens, although, the mid lane in Joralax does have a lot of strong picks that Meet the Coomers would likely want to deny.
Yeah, the Silas is pretty standard. It has been getting banned out versus him a lot, and we do see the early Samira ban from Wind Diesel.
Right. Okay. A Zed ban comes through again, targeting Joralax there in the mid lane.
So I'm actually curious to see um if they're gonna let some of the other mid lane power picks through. There is still, I believe, Yone and Diana are also
Yep.
champions that he's practiced. So uh Meet Kumar just kind of has to let the one through that they feel most comfortable playing against.
Of course, and there's also Fizz in the back pocket. Hope no one forgot about that one. But yeah, Joralax does have quite a lot of champs that he's still very practiced and comfortable on that are still on the table. So of course, We'll see what Meet the Coomers goes for here.
Yeah, like I was saying, Wind Diesel pinching the jungle champion pool, and it looks like Meet the Coomers want to get rid of the Yone at the end of their first ban phase.
A lot of thought going into this ban.
Well, they have to decide whether or not they want to pinch the Vladimir, and it looks like they
And it will
won't.
be the Swain for DVD in the bot lane, although Nautilus is still left up for him, still very practiced on that pick.
I imagine Wind Diesel probably wants to pinch Nautilus and Meet the Coomers for Quick's Vlad here. In which case, I mean, the high IQ play would be Meet the Coomers to first pick Nautilus here to secure it, but it looks like they're just going to be going with Mordekaiser instead.
Right, of course. Elongated Girth, very practiced in the Mordekaiser pick. We saw him demolish a lot of other players with it, so let's see if it keeps up. And of course, Yasuo is picked early here for the Moose Man in order to keep the full melee dream alive on the side of Wind Diesel.
And Meet the Coomers for picking Mordekaiser does give them a bit of a disadvantage now, because if they wanted to play the Vlad, it now incentivizes even more match boosts built. And just like we said, Wind Diesel securing the Nautilus for the combo with Yasuo.
Right, I honestly thought that Meet the Coomers would prioritize the Nautilus, as there aren't a lot of Vladimir players on the side of Wind Diesel. So securing the early Nautilus takes away from the champion pool that, of course, Real Zilla guy has access to, and you know it also puts it on in the hands of DVD. And with the Leona counter pick here,
It is important to note that Leona is the lane counter pick. Leona will eventually get outscaled by the Nautilus pick in the later stages of the game. So this is more of a lane-focused pick that I think Meet the Coomers wants to take advantage of to try and secure a bot lane advantage with the double melee.
right? Of course, and you know Big Boss, very powerful player to play around and send the team around essentially. So I think the Leona is actually very wise here. We've seen this
Gassadin's a
matchup
good answer.
before.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Gaston's a really good answer here. It plays very well into Mordekaiser and Vladimir with the match damage shield, and we did see that Jackal Star 1 was able to play the Gaston to great effect in this matchup.
Right, although Vladimir does still have the early push here, so of course Admiral Bishop will likely get more support from his laners early on, and it will be the Skarner ban, of course, targeted towards that jungler.
Kind of expected Wind Diesel to start pinching more AD carries. I mean, I would hope to see maybe a Kaisa ban last. Force Big Boss going to something maybe he's a little less comfortable on. To sort of alleviate some of that pressure in the bottom side.
Right. Will be a Volibear ban here coming in for the side of Meet the Coomers, targeting the top and jungle pools, so that's a very good ban.
I almost feel like the Volibear pick should usually come through in first phase if they're ever intending on flexing it.
Yeah, that is true. Looks like it will be the Twitch ban, as we have seen Big Boss pull that out in the past.
So Wind Diesel should be pretty. They should have enough information to know for certain that Big Boss is probably pulling out Kaisa as his choice for this game.
Right, and it will likely be the Zac ban here onto Chris Dragonfist. Yep.
Trying to force him on something a little bit less comfortable, something that he hasn't yet shown play on.
Potentially. Let's see what Wind Diesel will lock in here. Garen for the top lane in Mr. Sumo Monkey 44.
Saving final pick for jungle just to make sure that they can get whatever they need for their comp.
Right.
I think Poppy would actually be really good here, you know?
Yeah, the
I think this Poppy pick is really good, actually.
Yeah, it definitely does very well in shutting down the engage with the Nautilus Dredgeline, and of course the Yasuo dashes on his E, so that will be very helpful there in stuffing those engages. Although they drafted a Yasuo this time, The rest of their comp doesn't seem to want to play into the same wombo combo style, as Kassadin and Garen don't necessarily favor that type of team fighting. So, yeah, this Poppy is going to be very helpful in stopping the Yasuo from getting into the fight and where he wants to be.
Yeah, and it will be Tristana as the AD carry of choice for Meet the Coomers. I think this is a decent enough choice, right? Enough self-heal to get away, and it will be Sejuani as the final pick for Wind Diesel, which, I mean, that has fantastic synergies across the map, given that they are, again, a full melee comp.
Right. Very, very Wind Diesel-esque team, as they have been going with full melee theme, although we've yet to see every team abuse the weaknesses of this, so see the Coomers try their luck this time.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
draft-wise, I think I actually give the slight edge to Meet the Coomers, honestly. Their comp is a little bit better here.
Right, I really do think that Tristana has a lot more survivability than Kaisa in this situation, actually. So I do actually favor the Tristana pick over the Kaisa pick, on top of the fact that, Riot loves to nerf Kaisa at the past few patches. So yeah, I really think that Tristana was the right call here. Also with the scaling range, it's definitely going to help itself peel the Kassadin off of him. So that's all good. All right, yeah, let's send it to a break here now as we prepare to get on the Rift. All right, everyone, we are back on the Rift here with Meet the Kumas on blue side and Wind Diesel on red. The team's looking like a standard 5-point start thus far.
Yeah, I don't think any team really wants to have any early game chaos right now. I think I predict some early action, just by the nature of how these teams play. But I think as of right now, they're just kind of willing to hold their positions and get ready for the game.
Right, does look like a lot of pings are being dropped in the early game, but mostly just troll pings pinging the enemy nexus and saying that they will go there and win.
I do want to note here, Real Zilla guy opting for exhaust this game rather than ignite. I think this is a double-edged sword. I think exhaust works really well into Vladimir, Tristana, Mordekaiser, because in the event that they do end up behind, Tristana's gonna have a really easy time just kind of jumping on your face. Um, so being able to exhaust the Tristana should be pretty helpful. On the other hand, it makes trying to confirm any kills that they want to look for in the early stages of the game a little bit more difficult.
Looks like some standard trading going on here in all lanes.
Admiral Bishop opting to skip his Krugs and move immediately onto his Raptors as you see. Love tap in the mid lane.
Right. Looks like it will be bot lane with the push here, although not much to do with it. And mid lane also crashes a wave here. It looks like blue side with complete map control in terms of lane priority thus far, but of course a lot of them are giving up quite a bit of health for it.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we expect and we've been seeing when Diesel drafts these full melee comps. They sort of sack a lot of early pressure. And then by sacking this early pressure, they just kind of wait it out until they're able to at least have a somewhat even footing fight. The thing with Wind Diesel is they'd like to take fights when they might not be on even footing. But they just believe in the fact that their team comp can just like out wombo you and just out prep you as Hook lands the block.
Alright, DVD also taking a return trade but eating a tower shot in the process and will get chunked out here. It is important to note though that Chris also got seen on a transition gank through mid up to the top side, so he will be late likely to the scuttle, which of course goes to the way of Admiral Bishop on the blue side.
I'm Bishop skipping his blue just to ensure top scuttle take. This will stop his clear as long as he Earth. Really well played trade there. As you know, it will delay his blue take, but conversely, it will give his laner some freedom as you see gank in the mid lane.
Right, Admiral Bishop getting the flash out of Joralax early there, but a kill will not be found. Very well played.
Good early pressure exerted on the Kassadin lane.
Right. Of course, that gank does mean that Chris Dragonfist will be able to secure the other scuttle and make his way down to the bot lane for a gank, although this likely won't find much, but never mind, the hook actually stalls out the rocket jump, and DVD World Peace will get chunked out. But Admiral Bishop here for the late counter, but not much will be found.
And there's like the no ignite situation. This guy had ignite in that situation. The World Peace would have died. So it's just the exhaust will be useful. It's just that in that situation, he would have rather hoped that he had ignite.
Right. Of course, it is also important to note though that from that scenario, Big Boss did lose both summoner spells, so perhaps it'd be nice to see Chris come around again for a return gank.
I think so. Admiral Bishop ended up making the choice to completely disregard his debuff and run straight to the bottom lane, which puts him actually behind in terms of overall tempo. So now he's gonna have kind of a weird setup now, because he's gonna be like pathing towards the side of the map where he likely won't have pressure, given that because Big Boss lost all of his summoner spells, Mooseman and Real Zilla guy should have the push for the foreseeable future falling.
Right.
Unless they stand that far back, then it's fine.
Well, they do have the river warded, so they know that they aren't in danger of a gank, as well as seeing Admiral Bishop now in the top lane, chunking out Mr. Sumo Monkey here, although it likely won't matter too much because of Garen's Preservance and, of course, you know, the Doran's Shield.
So it actually looks like it's going to be Meet the Coomer stacking the big wave boss side. This would, you would hope, transition into a very clean Dragon Take, especially because Johnson V2 just come out of this recall, and he'll be back in mid just in time. Aggressive jump forward from Big Boss to get a little bit of poke damage.
Right, Real Zilla guy does have a short window here to abuse this. Mooseman dashing forward through the wave, and does find the Steel Tempest onto DVD, but of course just a little bit of Yasuo poke. Death Realm mode coming out of Elongated Girth in the top lane. We'll take Sumo Monkey there, and we'll just kind of walk at him. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, the silence comes out, and it will be Flash to keep himself alive. Elongated Girth not flashing to follow, letting him out just safely. Although it will be Chris Dragonfist showing up right about now. Elongated Girth caught between the two melee members, and will get stunned up here, but Chris Dragonfist will miss.
Oh wow, that was actually really well done.
Well played Flash, I guess, from Elongated Girth, and he will walk out. Admiral Bishop here now on the flank, and will land the wall stun onto Jorlax and take him down, no counterplay.
So really well played kick there from Admiral Bishop through the wall stun. And also, I also want to say really well played by Elongated Girth surviving that gank. I do think he could have, because I think the Garen Flash, while his Q was mid animation, so I think if he was a little bit faster and maybe playing on like Tournament Realm Ping, he actually might have been able to Q Flash and follow. That would have looked really nice, but unfortunately, you know, NA Ping XD.
Right, luckily for us though, on spectator mode, we do have 7 milliseconds of delay, so lucky us. The players do not get to experience that, however. They're likely on, what, like 58? I think 58 is what we usually have here.
Something like that. But as we did mention before, Admiral Bishop transitioning to pretty easy Dragon takes. So far, really ideal laning phases across the board for Meet the Coomers as we head into the mid game.
Right. Well, looks like they will meet in the jungle here, and it will be Chris Dragonfist that is the oppressor, chasing Admiral Bishop back to his own side. Real Zilla guy, though, first to rotate, misses the hook barely. Mooseman into the team, and will drop the wind wall to block some big buff damage, but it will not matter. Explosive charge detonates on him, and he goes down. Real Zilla guy trying to find a hook, but finds himself drowning instead in the middle of all 4 members.
Admiral Bishop there completely launched Chris Dragonfist away with the Poppy ultimate, so he wasn't able to contribute much. Johnson V2 using his teleport to support his team and ending up with another kill, even as he gives up some CS and tower damage in the mid lane. So overall, really well done there by Meet the Coomers.
Yeah, very excellent. On top of the fact that the Kassadin didn't even secure a plate off that, so definitely swinging the gold lead quite heavily in the favor of Meet the Coomers here. Oh, but Chris Dragonfist here will hop over the wall, but he will get stunned up by DVD. Buster Shot comes out to save the support, and he will rocket jump out DVD. World Peace forced to expend Flash, and the Q does land on the Tristana, and ultimate Last Breath comes out of Mooseman, but won't find anything here. Jorlax here poised for a gank on the bot lane. Bot lane trying to recall and Meet the Coomers trying to make it out here, but Jorlax does show and will stop them. Ultimate stun does find Big Boss, and he will go down. Excellent turret dive, but not so much. Admiral Bishop comes in with wall stun and keeps Jorlax there, and he goes down because Dragonfist is forced to expend Flash to keep himself alive. Mooseman eats another turret shot, and it will be
so juicy.
Diesel on the run here, but Admiral Bishop is alone here. He will tank the hook from Real Zilla guy, and perhaps he didn't do too much damage. Yep,
no.
He is exhausted, and he will go down. Quite an unfortunate play. That's a 3-for-1 in the bot lane on the side of Wind Diesel, putting the gold lead slightly back, but not quite. Favor is still definitely on the side of Meet the Coomers here, as Big Boss will walk back.
Okay, so it started out really good for Wind Diesel, and then Admiral Bishop had a really great timing there to able to secure a return kill, and then it was 2-for-1, and that was pretty much the best return hope, even if they were all super low. Elongated Girth didn't teleport, so there really was no hope to get anything extra. But then Admiral Bishop goes, yeah, I can do that, and then walks into 3 people and then gets chain CC'd by the Nautilus and dies, making it not so good.
Perhaps that was not the right call to try and phase tank a full health Nautilus in order to get to the lower back line, but of course, you know, Nautilus does have like a lot of CC to deal with there in the passive auto and of course the dredge line, so you know, you can't make your way across him that easily.
I'll point out that the Vladimir now has his first item as DVD World Pieces found in yet another interesting situation.
Right, of course, lucky for him, though the enemy has drafted a tank jungler, so he cannot just be instantly 1v1'd. So perhaps seeing a bit of liberty there. Oh, and Admiral Bishop shows up top lane here. The smite does come out, but of course Garen W cleanses it easily, and it will be Mr. Sumo Monkey here walking out alive without flash, although it will come up momentarily.
Like, Herald seems to be the next objective that the teams want to play for. One thing we haven't actually seen is teams rotating their support up quickly to try and go for a Herald take. Given like the man advantage it can provide, I was at least hoping to see it a little bit more if teams start prioritizing Herald. But it looks like this is just going to be, you know, a nice standard fight for the Herald control.
Right, it will be Admiral Bishop here, caught between the jungler and the mid laner here. The stun does land, Riftlock really does come out, but he does land the stun onto Joralax, and the knockup, Johnson V2 flashing over the wall for him, but won't find him as Joralax just Riftlocks back. And now it looks like Johnson V2 will kind of just get stuck out here as he gets stunned up again, won't find anything. Elongated Girth though taking Mr. Sumo Monkey to the Death Realm and back. Oh, he does find the pull, and the solo queue does end Mr. Sumo Monkey right there. It's important to note that both top laners had flash for that fight, so Mr. Sumo Monkey chose to go down there instead of flashing. I don't know if that was necessarily the right call, but
I think you're assuming in that situation that the Mordekaiser is going to follow you no matter what you do. So blowing your flash there seems a bit redundant when he's just going to flash after you. You would think, at least. I think that's the thought process. Whether he actually would is different, but you expect him to follow you after you with his flash.
Right, the Mordekaiser Q is bufferable with flash. You can Q flash on Mordekaiser, so that is an important note. Although Real Zilga will find the dredge line and CC chain on the Admiral Bishop. Looks like the steadfast person comes up late, but he does walk out with Triumph. Johnson V2 is engaged on here. Mistman does find the knockup onto DVD, but nothing will happen. Teleport comes out of Elongated Girth and will find the return kill.
Oh my!
And it looks like DVD World Peace will land the Zenith Blade. Joralax does go down, though, to Big Boss. Well-timed flash there takes him down.
Okay, I don't know what the hell just happened. I don't know how Admiral Bishop got alive. Looked like he was for sure dead, but then didn't die. Elongated Girth using his team very well to help his team as 2 big shutdowns are given there. Joralax was able to grab the shutdown for Johnson V2. That was a lot of gold in his pocket. Meanwhile, on the other side, Big Boss was able to get the shutdown for
Dredgeline and Mortal Steel finds its way onto Big Boss, and he will go down here. Heal comes out of Mooseman to keep him alive. The explosive charge won't find him. And of course, now DVD is on the run and will likely go down to the Mortal Steel, and he goes down. It's actually still Tempest. Mortal Steel is his brother's Q. Right, my bad. But right. Further note, Johnson but V2 did use TP to catch the crashing wave that Mr. Sumo Monkey had prepared, as he did not teleport to the previous fight, and it will be him here caught between the jungler and the top laner again. Expends the pool early in Tides of Blood to get out here, although the Sejuani ult will find him. Oh, and will
he is really fine.
Here? Yeah, it won't be a tower dive.
I was going to say before they just died randomly 2v2, Big Boss was able to pick up the shutdown on Joralax, which means that he can now complete his item as well.
Right, Looks like Big Boss here might get engaged on... no he won't. He will just sit behind the minions safely as DVD finds his way back into the lane and pressure's reapplied, push to the bot side of Meet the Coomers.
It's like Big Boss actually just doesn't care at all about the potential of getting Nautilus hooked. He just trusts himself to dodge it as he gets engaged on again.
Oh, the last breath does find him, but of course DVD with the well. Oh no, it does not matter. Looks like the Zenith Blade and the Daybreak Shield will not be enough for the stun, and he will also just get tied down by all the CC on the side of Wind Diesel, and he will also go down. That is quite unfortunate there. Rocket Jump was expended early to, of course, try to get himself out of the range of the Yasuo ult, but it was not enough, so he will go down anyway.
Big Boss and DVD World Peace just not respecting at all any of the sort of or any sort of the snap engage that Mooseman and Real Zilla can now put out now that they actually have items.
Right. Of course, it is also important to note, though, that the Tristan has absolutely no way of dodging the knockup, and even if you buffer it with the rocket jump, like, the status effect still technically goes through, so you can still get Yasuo ulted even if you buffer the knockup. So there's not much you can do because, you know, as soon as Yasuo ults, even if you buffer the jump and the movement begins, you will be stopped mid-air by the Yasuo ult, so there really was no escape aside from just not positioning as aggressively there.
I think now they should at least try and realize, as we see another gank in the mid lane, they should at least now try and realize, as they completely sack Ball and Tower to make the rotation mid, they should be able to realize now that Mooseman and Rosal are actually pretty strong and can make those snap engages easily, so they should try positioning a little bit better. There's some vision clearing as everyone goes to their new lane assignments.
Right, I'd say this is a very smart move as the Tristan already is taking the bot lane tower and the mid lane tower is very low. So moving her to here to take the mid lane turret, on top of the fact that she has the push being ranged into a complete melee team comp, definitely the right call here. As well as the fact that both solo laners on the side of Meet the Coomers are about to have their teleports back up. So positioning them in the side lanes is, of course, a very smart idea.
Yeah, they kind of just are trying to use Tristana's natural third taking ability and just kind of send her the map to take whatever towers she can.
Right, that will be mid lane tower falling for Meet the Coomers here.
It's actually a lot of good territory gained, given that there isn't a lot of wave clear on the side of Wind Diesel, so any space you can buy yourself with waves pushing for you is really well done.
Right, of course that will be very important for the Wind Drake that is about to come up in like 10 seconds. Yep, there we go. Wind Diesel will be caught though on the vision cone setting up here. Admiral Bishop positioned aggressively and does stop the Nautilus dredge line, but it does not matter. Steadfast Presence still gets you CC'd no matter what, and he's trying to keep himself alive, stunning Jorlax, but won't find much. Explosive charge on the Jorlax, but of course Big Boss can't find the follow-up as the wind wall is in place. Johnson put V2 into the backline and blows Tides of Blood and his pool in order to try and do damage to keep himself alive. Mooseman with the flash and Q will take him down. Another knockup found on DVD here. Big Boss jump in a bit late with the explosive charge and Buster Shot to again try and buy space to get himself out. Flash into the wall by accident and there will be nothing found. Mr. Sumo Monkey here on the flank trying to find DVD but won't find much, and it looks like both teams quite out of position here. Elongate
he goes to Brazil.
Ultimate. Yeah, on to Mr. Sumo Monkey here, and Blast Cone's about to come up, not quite there yet, but you can see the roots taking place, and it will be Mr. Sumo Monkey going down out of position on the flank to Big Boss's explosive charge.
That was the hella messy fight, and a lot of misplays, but it ends up actually going extended the way of Meet the Coomers, as however Wind Diesel starts with the dragon again.
Only the jungler and the Yasuo though, and it is 3 collapsing, but Kassadin is near. Johnson but V2 does extend the TP as he comes into the fight. Big Boss free hitting the front line. Mooseman a bit out of position again, perhaps a bit overconfident with all the gold he has. Explosive charge onto Real Zilla guy, has to flash to get himself out, not to give the jump reset to the Tristana here. And it will be Meet the Coomers that finds their way into the Wind Diesel jungle, although they did not get the Drake.
Well, there was another big shutdown going away with the Tristana for killing the Yasuo, so this Tristana is getting very strong very fast.
Right, the Yasuo did perhaps overreach there a little bit, not respecting the man advantage on the side of Meet the Coomers, and of course, forging ahead into the enemy Poppy probably was not the right call, as Steadfast Presence does also stop a lot of his very powerful mobility, so not much he can do about that but go down. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication there between Chris Dragonfist and Mooseman in that play, but of course, positioning around the Baron now, hopefully they try to find something off of this, as Meet the Coomers is on a reset.
So Tristana picking up Phantom Dancer plus Last Whisper from the last fight will make sure that she absolutely shreds the Garen and the Sejuani, not to mention all the damage she's going to do to Jorlax and Mooseman at this point. So any free time given to the Tristana is very scary for Wind Diesel, so they're going to want to have to CC lock her instantly, as they might be going for something.
Real Zilla guy finds the Hex Flash and Dredgeline and all the ultimates onto Big Boss, but of course Mooseman doesn't follow up here with the last breath, but does find the two-man knockup at the end, so the trade kind of doesn't result in anything. A ton of important cooldowns burned on the side of Wind Diesel. Admiral Bishop here positioning for a wall stun, but won't find any as Wind Diesel backs off.
A lot of important cooldowns used there. Sejuani ult, Nautilus ult, so they sort of lose their snapping engage power as going for another Hex Flash play.
Oh, but here this time the Dredgeline does find Big Boss with the Hex Flash, and Mooseman does find the last breath, and it will be both kills going to this Yasuo here. And of course, priority completely to the side of Wind Diesel. They could probably set up for a Baron here and force it.
I mean, I just don't know what's going on, right? Like, they know that Real Zilla guy can keep snapping engaging them like this. They're showing absolutely no respect to the ability of Wind Diesel to dogpile him like this, and it means they're probably just going to be giving up damage.
Admiral Bishop here looking for a potential steal, blows the Steadfast Presence perhaps a bit early. Hook comes in afterwards, and he will be stunned up with nowhere to go, and he goes down. Everyone on the chase now. Tides of Blood and Pool comes out from the Vladimir, and he has to flash to safety, but Geralt...
That was a big chunk, though.
Does come out, yeah.
Wow, that was a fat chunk, so now they actually can't do the Baron, as the only Geralt. Okay, yeah, I was hoping he was just gonna... Okay, I think he probably could have taken him to Brazil there and killed him, but that's fine. You let him go to fight another day, as they will now move in to clear all of the Baron vision.
Wait, can you recall in the Death Realm? That'd be kind of troll if you could.
I don't think you can.
I don't think it doesn't work, right? There's no way that actually works.
Please God, I just need them to respect Nautilus. This game is so free if they would just respect Nautilus engage, but they're just not, and they're just getting dogpiled.
The Nautilus engage is a point and click and is not cleansable. Like, you just have to respect it. There's no choice. You gotta just wait for someone else. Here we go again, although he will get out of range this time, so no last breath from the Mooseman, and teleport comes through for Johnson, but V2 wind wall expended here from the Yasuo. Another cooldown blown, but of course it is important to note that the cooldown is already a quarter of the way through for the Nautilus depth charge. So it will definitely be back up for this next drag fight. So let's wait and see if Big Boss will respect that ultimate again, or if the same fight will play out the same way. Jorlax here taking the blue buff for himself. Parting gift.
I mean, if anything can be said, is that Johnson V2 is very good at these snap TP plays. He's willing to TP wherever, whenever his team may or may not need him, so that does result in him having to blow his TP pretty early, but it does mean that
no, DVD world peace,
not
you
like
can't
this,
be there! And he's caught out again. He does have flash, but he will just choose to soak it and go down.
Come
Man,
on,
Real Zilla
man.
guy on this Nautilus landing hooks left and right. It seems like no one wants to respect his sphere of influence, and he will
Oh my,
constantly find the
wait.
picks. And it will be
Oh,
Admiral Bishop getting
how,
to
man,
these picks, but
how?
this fight will go the way of Chris Dragon. This huge depth charge again onto the back line. And it will be Big Boss going down early again. And of course, the Yasuo here will just clean up everyone else. Elongated Girth trying to take down Mr. Sumo Monkey in the Death Realm, but of course will only get close, but not quite. And of course, it will be a complete Brawlite ace for the side of Wind Diesel as they make their way for the victory Baron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening. None of these fights should be going that way. They got a really good Poppy ult to send everybody away, and then Bishop loses the 50-50 again. The second 50-50 is lost against Chris, even though their smites are the same damage. Loses the 50-50 again, and then somehow Big Boss gets perma-CC locked by the Nautilus again, instantly dies, and then they lose the team fight. So, I mean, I don't really know what the hell's happening. I really don't know how this is happening. They have earlier setup times, but they're sticking around for too long, dying for no reason, and then they just keep trying to take odd man fights, and then they have the ability to win the odd man fights. They're just not playing them well enough to win them.
I think it's mostly on the part of the depth charge again from Real Zilla guy. I really think that's like a crucial cooldown that it cannot be avoided on the side of Mitakum unless he for some reason decides to target Johnspot V2 who can just pull it. Or Elongated Girth who can Death Realm it, but otherwise there's absolutely no way they can avoid that. Elongated Girth here caught out and will go down to the Demacian Justice here. But yeah, there's no way to avoid it for the Tristana, so you just have to bait out the crucial cooldown with Rocket Jump out of vision, because you either need to leave the Yasuo ult range or you need to leave the vision in order to not get caught by the last breath. So those two things need to happen, or they need to bait out the Nautilus depth charge in order to win these fights. Otherwise, it's just a guaranteed knockup into a guaranteed Yasuo ultimate. Admiral Bishop here desperately trying to hang on to the tower here, buying as much time as possible with his ultimate as well, but he will go down as the Wind Diesel top side of the map is just too tanky. Oh, wait, oh, never mind. He makes it out as Johnspot V2 is there to intervene.
I mean, they really shouldn't have been able to get that kill on Elongated Girth. He's kind of sticking around for a tier 1 to win the enemy team. And there's really no reason to try and fight them over a tier 1, right? At that point, it's just ego time. And now it looks like, I mean, the game is completely in Wind Diesel's hands, you know. Even though, like, it really shouldn't be, but at this point, they're just kind of finding openings in Meet the Coomer's positioning errors.
Right, it looks like it will be the Kassadin, though, on the split here with the Baron buff. Although he does not have teleport, he is still quite mobile and a good split pusher in that respect. They do spot out the Nautilus out of vision here, and the stun will come down onto him. The engaged first this time from Big Boss, and it looks like he will just be free hitting the front line of Wind Diesel. Mooseman trapped in the Death Realm, so of course he can't find any ultimates, and without a team, he is not as useful.
There you
Can't
go.
find the knockup. It looks like that's another solution, actually. That is a great solution. If you just have Elongated Girth ult to Mooseman at the beginning of every fight, no matter how many knockups they find. Also, the fact that it was a 4v5, but, you know, that aside, I doubt Dorlax being there would have been, like, as extremely helpful, because that fight was just very well played on the side of Meet the Coomers. Death Realming the Yasuo there to prevent the follow-up and the high damage burst onto the backline was definitely the right call. Also, it looks like there was a bit of misplay on the side of Wind Diesel, as when Admiral Bishop engaged there with the wall stun, actually, Wind Diesel panicked and used their CC on him instead of saving it for the Tristana in the backline. So Tristana was able to actually sit in range and free hit the front line for like a whole 5 seconds just for absolutely free, and there's nothing anyone could do about it. So that was a very nice wall stun, and of course Poppy ult and solar flare from the tanks of Meet the Coomers in order to lock down the front line and of course turn the tides of that fight. So very well done.
All right, so third dragon for both teams. All major cooldowns are available. So we're gonna hope that Meet the Coomers can correct their errors from the last fight and do it again. However, it looks like they're actually just gonna be going for a pick on Mr. Two Monkey instead. As
Right.
it looks like DVD World Peace is getting caught again where he shouldn't be.
Oh, he will bow flash though, but of course depth charge will find him here, and the Rift Walk, of course, will bring Jorlax closer. The kill goes on to the Mooseman Yasuo, and we will see how they position for this Drake, which will bring them to Soul Point.
I mean, at this point, you can just flip it. It is possible. Doesn't look like they want to. But again, it's just mispositioning, right? The rest of his team is going for a pick, going for a pick on the top laner, and he's just getting vision on the opposite side of Baron. So they just have to give it up again. So it's actually 3 straight dragons for Wind Diesel, all giving them ultimate CDR. And guess what? Their team is very ultimate reliant. They need their ulti cooldowns to play these fights, and they're getting exactly what they need. As Caston just now hit level 16, so he's now officially become a little bit too hard to handle.
Right, of course, it looks like Meet the Coomers is going to default back to their 1-3-1 composition that they have been playing a lot because, the solo laners do have access to teleport, as Wind Diesel only has one solo laner with that, although Baron is up shortly. Mr. Sumi Monkey and Johnson but VT both have access to their teleports, so we will see if Mr. Sumi Monkey will late teleport again, or if he will match Johnson but V2 in a timely manner. Oh,
Thing is, despite the gold deficit, I actually still think it doesn't matter because Meet the Coomers still have a way to win these team fights. They do. It's completely possible, right? It's just they need to position correctly, right? They need to position correctly, and they need to, as they take the last plan over, just giving themselves away. And now they're actually in danger of getting pincered.
Right. It looks like they will be pincered here, and Johnson but V2 will find the early TP, but it will be Admiral Bishop who's early engaged on blowing all his cooldowns, trying to stall as long as possible for his team. We'll find a 4-man knockup, but it will not matter. Riftwalk will find him. Johnson but V2 and Elongated Girth on the flank here. Big Boss trying to keep himself alive. Depth charge will find him, and DVD trying to buy as much time as possible. The Sejuani ult will not find him. Oh, but he is healing himself so well with the help of DVD, and he will take down Chris Dragonfist, and Johnson but V2 finally shows up to the fight here. Won't find the hit with Tides of Blood, so the slow will not come through. He will just chase further, but chasing a level 16 Cassidy with blue buff does seem a bit troll, and it
Just
will
go for
be...
Baron.
It will be
If
the Donald
strippers on their
pulling
face,
himself
go for
away.
Baron, guys. Let's go. They're going for Baron. And with supercharging down mid, that pretty much means they get this Baron. At least I would hope so. My God, if they somehow steal this, but no, it's actually being melted.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Did you catch
well,
how Mooseman went down in that fight? I didn't quite catch it.
So he accidentally dashed Admiral Bishop to the other side near Bump and put him face first in front of Big Bosk, and he unloaded all of his damage. Like, Big Bosk unloaded pretty much everything he had onto him, and even though the Immortal Shield bow did proc, the bomb actually stayed on his head long enough for the shield to go down and then for him to die to it anyway. So
used early?
he uses Windwall after he got hit by a bomb and a bunch of auto attacks. So he was already crit like a million times. So he just kind of got exploded.
That's just a mechanical misplay on his part.
That's he kind of, ended up dashing through the wall, then just big oopsie, but oh my God, if Real Zilla finds a Hex Flash play here, I might scream.
Again, he's found this play before, and will it happen again? Big Boss punishing the melee composition a bit for walking up in vision. And he will get the push with the Baron here. There is no major objective on the map, so...
Looks like this time he's a couple more of his boys backing him up, so it's not just him alone to get Hex Flash on.
Right, he will be ravaging the enemy jungle as he walks through here on their siege for the top lane tier 2. And of course the explosive charge at this point does massive damage. He's almost level 16 himself as well, but it's not too big of a deal.
Dragon coming up in just about a minute, and that is going to be Soul for Wind Diesel. So Meet the Coomers have to play this well. I mean, they've kind of just been getting the runaround on Dragon by they've just been getting ran around, and it's I don't know to watch though. I'm hoping that 4 times a charm. Right? Wind Diesel cannot possibly get 4 dragons in a row, right? It just can't. It seems so impossible.
Oh, Solar Flare won't catch any here. Crucial cooldown blown right before the fight. And it will be
Oh
the
my god, he went
Kassadin
instantly.
that gets instantly deleted by the damage.
Oh my god.
But it looks like
Oh
a
my.
Windle will take Big Boss out of the fight, but he waits for it to go down, and it looks like at this point that the Vladimir is able to pump out enough damage
Oh
and
my
sustain. Oh, Big Boss
fucking God.
follows with the rocket jump and will go down just in time. Skybreaker will catch him, and Mr. Sumo Monkey will make his way out as the move speed from his Q will keep him alive.
So Big Boss, in trying to get away from Mr. Sumo Monkey, actually apparently had the same idea to go over the same wall. So they end up at the same position, and Big Boss ends up dying instead. Snorlax with a bit of a Jensen moment there, engaging onto the 80 carry and then getting absolutely deleted before having a chance to press his Zonya's button. So,
Yeah,
after that, the fight was just lost. As you see Mr. Sumo Monkey actually going in.
you know, as a Kassadin, you definitely cannot rift walk forward into a Vladimir and a Tristana at this point in the game and expect to survive.
Especially when you do Zonya's. Zonya's thing feels pretty important, man. But, yeah, so that mechanical misplay led to them winning the team fight and picking up their dragons. So this gate is going to 7 dragons. I can't believe it. I really can't believe this. But anyway.
You know, that team fight was actually very well played for Johnson Butt V2 there, as he was able to buy a lot of time for the wind wall to dissipate so Big Boss can re-engage with his damage as well. So that was some very, very good on his part and Admiral Bishop's part in absorbing quite a lot of the CC there.
Well, it looks like team fights are starting to swing back in Coomer's direction. Hopefully they can keep this momentum going as, like, they are well and truly scaled. I mean, this Tristan and Vladimir do hit very, very hard. The only problem is, they do have a level 17 cast on the other team that also does hit like a truck, so...
Looks like the blue buff will be handed over to the Tristana here in preparation for this Baron that is actually 1 minute and 30 seconds away, so quite a lot of time, yet they're posturing very, very early for it, clearing out
Oh
vision.
no. Oh no. Okay, please.
No,
No, please.
elongated
No.
the
Oh no.
DVD, what are you doing again? Caught out between 4 members? How many times do you have to do this before you learn not to do that? You cannot face check even if you're Leona because that's 4 people! If you don't have vision, you don't know how many are there! And likely it's more than 1!
Well, they see that position as, oh no, elongated girth is getting wrapped around. Oh my god. Oh
no,
no.
why do you have no vision here? And he will go down to the Demacian Justice. Not much he can do. He has absolutely no vision in his own jungle except for the Tri-Brush there established by DVD. Walk through the entire jungle and they only oh my god, and the Red Line will find Big Boss and he will go down. Admiral Bishop can't do anything about it when your AD is the one who gets hit by the knockup there because Yasuo Ultimate is a blink. You can't steadfast presence that. You will go down.
Wow, the game is actually just over.
Oh my god, I cannot believe this. And Wind Diesel will roll through the rest of Meet the Coomers and end the game right here, it looks like. And that will be the last game this week of SMLCS. I can't believe it. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow, what a game. Banger game. I don't really know what to say. I kind of didn't expect that to happen. I kind of expected a little bit of something more, but unfortunately it was kind of just a disappointing ending. It was just the 2 catches through vision where they shouldn't have been into an end. So I mean, how much to unpack there? I mean, the game was in Meet the Cooper's hand for so long. Like for so long the game was in their hands and they just kept misplaying over and over and over again. So I mean that does ruin our blue side win rate a little bit. So it looks like we might have cast your curse at blue side.
I don't
Um,
think it was that. I think Vin Diesel did an excellent job of playing around vision there, but like still, if you only have one ward on that side of the map in the tri-brush, there's no reason for you to be positioned so far up, even with the wave, especially when your team's not even close. Of course you're gonna get caught out. It's a free kill. Who wouldn't go for that?
yeah. So I mean I don't know. That was a bit of a crazy game. That ends with Meet the Coomers sadly falling short. But we'll have to see how they manage to pick themselves up for next week. On the opposite side, I do want to give a quick shout out to Real Zilla Guy. A lot of good support play is founded upon noticing errors in the other team, and given that there was just so many positioning errors from the side of Meet the Coomers, he was able to easily capitalize on stuff like that and just make the most out of this Nautilus pick.
Right, most definitely. That was some excellent play from Real Zilgai in the bot lane and some great follow-up from his partner in the Moose Man. So can't wait to see more of that. I think that will be the wrap up though for today, as we do only have this one game. So we will see you next week in SMLCS in day 6, right? Today's day 5. Yeah, day
Yeah.
5. So today next time will be day 6. So we'll see you then.
See you then.